Identifying with Osama bin Laden, for me, it's the same as identifying with Hitler or with the gas chambers in the Holocaust that murdered 6 million Jews. Let me explain. In the past few days, there's a new trend in social media, and especially in TikTok, that is talking about a letter to America.
I just read Osama bin Laden's letter to America.
Osama bin Laden's letter to America.
Letter to America. Letter to America.
This is a letter that Osama bin Laden, the head of Al-Qaeda, that carried out the most famous terror attack in the world against the United States of the Twin Tower. I'm talking about the September 11 attacks that killed more than 3,000 civilians in New York City. So in this letter that was translated recently in a British newspaper, Osama bin Laden is stating the reasons why he carried out this attack and justifying it to the world. This does not shock me that this extreme radical terrorists will justify his acts. But what shocked me was that we see young Americans and other young people around the world that are justifying his acts and claiming that his actions made sense and were reasonable. Of course, that he added that one of his reasons for carrying out the September 11 attacks against the United States was Israel and the Jewish people so-called occupying the land of Israel. Guys, does this make any sense to you? Well, it doesn't make any sense to me. Why would Americans, young people, Western, will justify a terrorist like bin Laden that carried out a terror attack against 3,000 American civilians in the 9/11 acts? And why would they trust his word, claiming that Israel is the reason for these attacks and for all the evil that is going on around the world? This is clearly a spirit of deception of the evil. So connecting all of this to what is happening in Israel, Hamas carries the same ideology as Al-Qaeda and as ISIS, and that ideology is responsible for the September 11 terror attacks in New York City, for the evil that carried out the terror attack and blew up the train in Madrid in 2004, the terror attack on the 7th of July 2005 in London that blew up the Boston Marathon in the United States in 2013. We as believers have an important role to share the truth. So I urge all of you to open your Bible, read it, pray, and ask God to tell you the truth of what is happening in this region and in the world. And after you do that, please act. Act by telling your friends, by sharing these videos and others, so that people will know really what is happening in Israel, in the world, and most importantly, join us in prayer for the peace of Jerusalem.